I just heard the news. You're going to live with your parents-in-law after the wedding, right?
Hey, Sophie. That's right. They were quite persistent in having us. After a lot of talking back and forth, we've decided to move in.
I can't imagine how much of a drag that must have been. Those two are quite stubborn and never really listen to what you have to say. They aren't like city people. They've been living in that small town for their whole lives. Their mindset is very conservative. They really value family and unity. They think it's very important to stick together. I know you might find it a pain at times, but do your best to bear with them. I'm always here if you need a free counselor.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Hopefully things won't get that bad. But I do appreciate the support. I know living together will have its challenges, but it won't be forever. The moment you guys come back, we'll be out of the house. Until then, we'll just make the best out of our situation. Working hard, building up our savings, and hopefully getting closer with the parents.
What was that? Until we come back?
Yes, that's right. That's what the parents and I agreed on. Your parents told me that after 3 years, your husband will finish working at the main office and move back home. Until then, they wanted us to move in so they didn't feel lonely. Was there some sort of miscommunication issue?
Right! How could I forget? Silly me! That's the story we told you so you would move in.
You're saying it's a lie? Why would you lie about something like that?
That's right. We lied. I hate to break it to you, but only half that story is true. It's true my husband won't be working at the head office forever, but we won't be going back there when he's finished. He's actually finishing his work a lot earlier than planned. Right about now, to be precise. Originally, we were going to move back there so he could work at his previous office, but he's been offered an alternative option, working from home. So there's no reason to move back there. We can continue the lifestyle we have here while he works remotely.
I see. Good for you two, then.
Thank you. The kids have made a lot of friends, and we're used to the city life. It will be much easier living here than back there. There's no reason for us to move.
That's all well and good, but what are we going to do if you don't move back? You know how much our parents-in-laws love their eldest son. They're waiting for him to come back. Not only that, we aren't planning on staying here forever. We'll be out of here in a couple of months max. They're going to be alone. No one wants to spend their last years on their own. They want to be surrounded by family.
Well, you'll just have to stay there a little while longer, won't you?
No, we have our own life to live. We won't stay here any longer than we need to.
Let me tell you something juicy. The parents are in on it too, you know. We told them we aren't making any compromises and will continue living here in the city. They tried to put up a fight, but eventually gave in. Despite knowing that we aren't coming back, it seems they lied to you at that meeting. I guess you just have to bite the bullet and stay there forever.
The parents hid this from us? I know at times they have been really hard to deal with, but I thought they were good people. We were really reluctant to move in and agreed to on the premise that we would move out soon. How could they deceive us like this?
Don't be so negative about this. This kind of works in your favor, doesn't it? You wanted to save money, right? The longer you stay with them, the more your savings will increase. That's probably better than moving somewhere expensive and wasting your money on rent. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yes, there is a bright side to the situation, but I'm not happy with that at all. You don't know how much we tried to tell them no. Alex and his father got into a heated argument about it. We gave in and thought 3 years of living together wouldn't be too long as we could leave. We never thought they'd do something like this.
Well, it's too late. At this point, you must have already moved all your furniture in. There's no turning back now. Even if you tried leaving in secret, being in a small town like that, someone is bound to find out. Once that happens, you can expect our parents-in-law to drag you back home.
Seems like you've taken the time to think about this scenario. To think that I actually liked you.
You don't know how much I've been dreading moving back to that little town. Just the thought of it makes me want to puke. You already know how stubborn those two are. We argued over and over about why we should live together. But it doesn't matter now. I should thank you for marrying their youngest son at such a good time. Now we can live in the big city in peace. You've been quite useful.
Don't talk about us like we're chess pieces that you can sacrifice. Is that really the way you thought about me this whole time?
Life isn't fair, Sarah. Tragedy is always around the corner. I think I'll leave it at that. Enjoy your new life in the small town. Those two are getting so old now. Don't be surprised if you become a 24/7 nurse. We'd help out, but seeing as we're so far away, there's not much that we can do. Sorry, darling.
Sarah, I'm so sorry. I just heard what happened. My parents told me everything. I never knew my brother was planning on not coming back. I can't believe I fell for something like this. This is all my fault. I should have seen something like this happening.
Can I trust you? You aren't in on this, are you, Alex? I really trusted Sophie and your parents, and I never thought they would turn their back on me.
I guess when things come to this, it's hard to trust the people around you. It hurts that even my fiancé can't trust me. But you have to believe me. I didn't know anything about this. Forcing us to live here was a trap made by my brother and my parents.
I see. So your parents really did set us up, didn't they?
That's right. They didn't even feel sorry about it. They said that Greg was the star of the family. They called me ungrateful. Apparently, I should be begging for the chance to live with them. Can you believe that they actually tried to turn the tables on me? That old cranky man. How can he see himself in a position of justice when he lied to his own son? I've really lost respect for him. Sarah, I'm really sorry that you have to put up with my family like this.
No, it's fine. You really didn't know anything about this, did you, Alex? You haven't done anything wrong. There's no need to apologize. But let's talk about the real issue. What do we do about this? Is there a way we can move out and find an apartment for ourselves? Or is all we can do just grit our teeth and live with them for the rest of our lives?
I want to get out of here just as much as you, but it won't be that easy. We have to be smart about this and think of a plan. For starters, all our luggage and furniture have been moved into here. The moment we start trying to find a new place for ourselves, they're going to catch on quick.
You're right. It will be hard making any moves behind their back. I feel like they've got eyes on us even when we don't realize it. Especially when we use our phone.
Even if we did move out, my workplace is located in this area, so they'd find out instantly. I can imagine my father barging through the office looking for me. Once he finds out where we live, who knows how he will respond. My parents are the type of people to break down the door and get violent.
They have no issue lying to us, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that.
I'm still shocked by all of this. How could they do this? I don't care how much my brother hates the lifestyle here. I can't believe he would do this to me. Does he hate me that much?
Maybe we're the ones at fault for not realizing that's the way they've been thinking about us. We'll just have to be more cautious about the people around us now.
Don't say stuff like that, Sarah. We're victims here. I don't want you putting any blame on yourself. I never told you this, but did you know that my brother was receiving money from my parents just to live here? You would think as a way of showing gratitude, he would decide to live with them from this point on. Despite that, he throws it back in their face and decides to move away.
Did he really? I didn't know that. We aren't receiving any money from them.
He sure did. Not only that, but my parents also paid for their honeymoon expenses. And you know my brother. He loves the taste of luxury.
Even the honeymoon? If I'm not mistaken, they also paid for the wedding, right?
Yes. Sounds amazing, right? But when the little brother decides to live with his parents, he doesn't receive any money at all. They said it's ridiculous to give money to someone who isn't the pride of the family. I may not be my brother, but I've made a good stature for myself too.
I never knew any of this. They are completely different from what I thought they were. You did a good job hiding the nasty sides of your family.
I wouldn't let you know any of this. How could I? Wouldn't you be embarrassed to have parents like this? As you can guess, my parents have been in love with my brother since he was born. Consequently, I'm used to this type of treatment. It's just the same type of thing I experienced as a boy up until I was a man. My brother is always looking for a chance to further his position. He will step on other people's heads if it means getting himself to the top. The moment Tim and Sophie got married, they didn't waste a second trying to get into the big city.
Aren't you criticizing him too much? He is your brother.
No, I don't think so, actually. I'm sure he loves talking me down to our parents and his wife. You don't know my brother. He's been like that from the very beginning. I've put up with his egotistical nature since I was born.
You might be right. He does give me that type of vibe.
Okay, I've made a decision. Let's just grit our teeth and get through this predicament. I'll make the most of what we got. If we have to live on the same land as my parents, I'm at least building a second home here. I'd love to see them argue with that.
What? Do you mean a smaller home separate from the main home? That's going to put a hole in our pockets.
That's right. The only time I want to see my parents' face is when we pass each other outside. I'm quite happy they tried to force us to live with them now. This can turn out to be a great opportunity for us. We're still living on the same land, so they should be happy with that. Everything works out.
It does sound nice. Moving out completely would be better, though. I guess this is our only option. Here is to the rest of our lives.
I'm afraid it is. But don't get your spirits down just yet. I'll find a way to break free of this living arrangement. Just trust me. I've got a plan.
Wait, now you've lost me. I don't know where you're going with this. We're going to move out after building a whole house here? That seems like a waste of money.
Yes. If we do this right, we should be able to move out quite easily. But it's going to be tough and we will have to work hard. I have an idea, but for the meantime, let's just do our best and get used to our new lifestyle.
Hey there! Congratulations on the new home! I never thought you guys would actually build a second home. I'm impressed. What a great idea. You guys deserve a pat on the back.
That's right. We've seen the future ahead of ourselves and planned in advance. We are very content with the home. It wasn't easy, though. It takes time gathering the materials to build a new home. We've been building this home for about 2 years now. All the hard work has paid off.
That's pretty fast with all things considered. Building such a beautiful house like that at such a young age is amazing. I'm serious. I'm really impressed. Not only that, but you can avoid the biggest issue, which is the parents-in-law. Both my husband and the kids love this place. We're going to grow very attached to it. Thank you for your hard work.
I'm sorry? Where are you right now, Sophie? I don't recall giving you a tour of the home yet.
Okay, I'll tell you my little secret. We snuck into your new house.
Excuse me? What the hell do you think you're doing?
As you know, our parents-in-law have a soft spot for Greg. They've been nagging him to see the new place. So we hauled ourselves out here to see what's up. Once we saw it, we fell in love instantly. They said if it's to our liking, we may be able to kick you two out. And the tactic was simple. All we have to do is move in before you do. Here we are now, moving our furniture into your new home.
No, please don't. Not our precious home.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but we really like this place. We just can't resist. My husband is getting sick of the city life. He's starting to think that this small town isn't such a bad idea after all. You even went as far as to build a study for us. A perfect little area for Greg to work in. We would be idiots to pass up this opportunity.
This doesn't make sense. You said you hated living in this small town. That's why you tricked us and made us live here in the first place, right? Can you just make up your mind already?
What? Aren't people allowed to have a change of heart? Things change and people change.
You're serious? You really want to live here? After all that complaining and making us live here for 2 years.
Well, we have to think about our children. After a prolonged period of time living in the competitive lifestyle of the city, we realized it isn't suitable for raising children. Greg and I sat down and had a talk. We came to the conclusion that the countryside is more suitable for them to grow up in. Which works out great because you built this perfect home for us. We don't have to worry about looking for a house or paying for it either. We'll be moving in today. Thanks, darling.
I'm sorry, today? Who do you think you are? This is not your home to move into. If you moved in, what are we supposed to do? You're seriously taking advantage of us again, a second time.
Like I care. This is how the jungle works. The strong get stronger and the weak get eaten. You have no hopes of moving back into this home. Don't waste your time. If I were you, I'd hurry up and find a new apartment before you are out on the streets. Just so you know, our parents-in-law said you can't stay at their house while we're here.
I assumed as much. We haven't gotten an ounce of kindness from them.
Well, that settles it. You know what to do. Don't worry, we'll be sure to treat the house with care. We'll put it to better use than you ever could.
After all that talk about hating the small town life, the moment we build a new house, you mysteriously show up. You don't even ask permission. You just freely move in like there's no issue. I know my husband isn't respected in this family, but surely he has the right to say no to you.
I have to disagree with that. Your husband doesn't have what it takes to win like mine does. At the end of the day, it's up to the parents-in-law. They clearly like Greg more than your Alex. Not only that, but you have no children. Do you think they would rather be around you and your lonely husband, or us and our cute grandchildren? Every old person enjoys being around the youth. It invigorates them.
Okay then. You have clearly won the battle for our parent-in-law's affection. I know they would have talked badly about us the past 2 years. I'm not surprised.
That's right. They can't wait to ditch the life with you and start a new one with us. It's going to be a bright future. Good luck finding an apartment. With your luck, it's going to be broken down and beyond repair.
If that's the way it has to be, I guess we'll be leaving then. Thanks for taking the house off us. Who would have thought everything went just as Alex had planned? I'm getting goosebumps just from how right he was.
Exactly as planned? You plan to get kicked out of your own home?
That's right. Enjoy the new home, you cockroaches. Hope you rot there forever.
What are you talking about? And who are you calling a cockroach?
You. I'm calling you a cockroach.
The cute cockroach couple. Stop that! Who do you think you are insulting me?
As you can guess, we built this house with the intention of you taking it off us. We don't actually need it, nor do we want it. Do with it as you will. It's none of our concern now.
Explain yourself! What is going on? I don't like your attitude.
Alex said it himself. Your husband loves taking advantage of other people. He knew the moment we built a nice home here that his brother would try to take it off us. What do you know? That's exactly what happened. Alex is smarter than you think.
Okay. How does this benefit you? You spent all that money on building this house and it's getting taken away from you.
Maybe you are unaware, but we've been renting an apartment under the premise that we can't live in our house while it's still being built. In doing so, we were able to distance ourselves from the parents-in-law and could find a new apartment without their eyes on us.
Your new apartment? You know they will find you as soon as you move out. They don't like being insulted.
It won't be that easy. Alex changed jobs recently. He will be working somewhere far from that little town. We've moved in an area that's way too far for them to find us.
You might be smarter than I thought, Sarah. I didn't think you two had this type of behavior in you.
It's all thanks to you. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have been able to find a new place to live in with no one knowing. Well, I hope you enjoy the home we built for you. Feel free to abuse it as much as you want. Bye!
I just received a message from my brother. Looks like they've taken the bait and moved in. Just as planned. He's bragging about his new home and saying we will never be welcome there. Your arrogance has gotten the best of you, brother.
Sophie got in contact with me as well. She was bragging about it too. They're quite a good match for each other. I told her she's free to do whatever she wants. The house is all hers.
Good. They won't like it for long. We're finally free from that dull small town life. No more parents. No more 40-minute drives to the shops. The plan was a huge success. We did it!
I still can't believe it. Maybe I'm still dreaming.
I've already moved all our stuff to the new place. I'm getting everything organized now. How are you? Do you need a hand with anything?
No, I'm fine. I finished notifying the tax agency and Social Security Administration of our new address. We are free to start our new life.
That's my wife. We have nothing left to worry about now. I can't tell you how happy I am about this. Let's have a party celebrating escape from those 2 years of torture. How about we eat something fancy for a change? I'll put on something nice.
Sounds great. We just moved into the area. Let's see what this new place has to offer. I'll get home as soon as I can. Hey there, Miss Sarah. Hope I'm not interrupting your peaceful afternoon. Have you seen our new photos on social media? We had an amazing party in our new home. I know you feel triumphant about us moving in, but no matter how you look at it, we just got a new house and you did all the heavy work. I never got a chance to say thank you. You have done us a big favor. Things couldn't have worked out any better for us. You're welcome. I've seen the photos and they look very good indeed. I'm glad you're enjoying the new home. It's looking very nice. I guess all that's left is the home loan. Good luck. What home loan? You're the one that's supposed to pay that. I'm sorry? You're the one that will be paying it. No. The loan is meant to be paid by the person that built the house. You're a bit of a comedian, Sarah. What makes you think we would pay for it? We are just the occupants. Paying that loan is your responsibility. You expect us to pay the loan if we're not even living there? That's some pretty strange logic. That loan would be under your name. You can't just force us to pay it without our consent. Just give up already. You can't do anything against us. We've won this war. We're quite comfortable living in this home. We don't need any unnecessary expenses. All right, but it's not under our name. Then whose name is it under? That would be our father-in-law. When we said we were building a second house, he said he would take over the loan. Everything from the land to the house is all under his name. What? That old fool! Why didn't he just let you pay the loan? Being on the pension, he certainly doesn't have the money to pay that off. They don't give much to the elderly folk. Seeing as he won't be able to pay it, the only option left is for you and your husband to pay it. I hope you guys have deep pockets. Are you kidding me? I don't believe any of this. If this is some sort of joke, it is not funny. It makes sense. At the end of the day, he wanted you and your husband here, not us. With him being in charge of the loan, he had the authority to tell us to go whenever he wanted. That sounds just like him. I can see him doing that. Wanting to be the boss of everyone. Just so you know, the loan works out to about $3,500 a month. How do you like your new home now? Are you satisfied with the nice, expensive details we put into it? Are you serious? We have to pay $3,500 a month? That's insanely expensive. They're charging that much for a house in the middle of nowhere? For a house that amazing, what else can you expect? You are living in the best of the best. Our parents-in-law were certain that you would pay it. They expect you have a lot of savings from all the money they gave you over the years.
They thought we had the means to pay $3,500 a month?
They're out of their minds. We have to get them to a nursing home. What would you do if we never came back? You would have to pay off that house on your own. Actually, Alex said that he would pay for it if things came to worse. You wouldn't believe the amount of hours he had to put into work. In the end, we managed to save up enough to pay off the loan. The promotions at work helped a lot with that, too. Alex is a good person, and he managed to earn his way to the top. Surely it wouldn't be enough to pay off the whole loan. You'd be surprised. With a lot of hard work and switching companies, we managed to increase our yearly income dramatically. We earn about $120,000 per year, after taxes.
What? That's crazy high!
It all went as expected. We only worked that hard in the case that we had to pay off that loan. Thanks to you, we're free from that fate. Instead, we have a large amount of savings in our pocket. Now we can live a life a little bit more extravagant than we are used to.
This is unbelievable.
What are we going to do?
Our family isn't like yours. My husband is the only one earning money for us. Even if we both went to work, there's no way we'll be able to pay off that loan.
All you can do is try. If you got a part-time job, you would eventually be able to pay it off.
Are you serious? Do you really expect me to work in a town like this? I tend to all my husband's needs. When we were living in the big city, I was the best wife a man could ask for. I kept everything in that house in order. It was a home that any man would want to come back to. I won't stoop so low as to work in a part-time job in this dump.
I can see you have a lot of pride in yourself. It's not going to help you pay that loan off.
This is all because of that jealous husband of yours. We all know how much he hates his bigger brother. If he was a real man, he'd pay that loan himself. I don't care if it's even half the loan. He should do his part. It's his duty as family.
Don't bet on it. We had to pay for our honeymoon and wedding all on our own. No assistance from you and no assistance from his parents. You've had heaps of financial assistance and you wasted it. If you were smarter, you would have had the savings for something like this. Instead, you spent it on things that make you and your family look better.
Okay, well, you do have a point. But who can expect to be placed in a situation like this? My life is ruined.
You get what you deserve. I think that's enough now. Enjoy your new home and the parents-in-law. We're living very, very far away from where you are right now. So sorry, but don't expect any assistance from us if something happens. It seems Sophie tried to make her father-in-law pay the loan out of his pension, but she was bluntly refused. He stated that he's given her so much money over the years that now it was her turn. He also said that if they weren't capable of paying it on their own, as head of the family, he would kick them out himself. He also requested they paid for all the money that they were given over the years. While they do live in two separate houses, the parents-in-law frequently visit without notice. They enjoy criticizing Sophie and her family. In an attempt to get away from them, Sophie started a part-time job. At least now there's a chance they might be able to pay off that loan. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. See you in the next video. Hey, congrats on getting married. That's huge. I just heard about your honeymoon from my brother. It sounded amazing.
Thanks a bunch, Maya. I'm looking forward to having you in the family.
Oh, me too. It's going to be so much fun having you as a sister-in-law. By the way, I sent a bottle of my favorite wine to Kyle earlier. I hope you don't mind white. You guys should drink it together. I hope you like it.
Wow! You even sent a present? You didn't have to.
It's my treat. Don't worry about it. We should all go out to eat together when you guys have time. You guys have a nice night together. I won't bother you any more tonight.
What? Don't tell me the conversation is already over.
Oh, do you want to talk more? I was just messaging you to congratulate you on the engagement. That's all. Was there something else I was supposed to tell you guys that I forgot about?
There is, isn't there? There's the congratulatory message, the bottle of wine. Then there's one more important thing you're supposed to tell me. Right?
You say it's something important. I'm sorry, but I really don't know what you're talking about. I can be forgetful sometimes.
You're joking, aren't you? You're supposed to tell me congratulations, send us an engagement gift, and then you're supposed to say you'll be moving out of the house so that Kyle and I can have it to ourselves. Right?
I'm not sure I follow.
Go ahead and use my room, Annie. I've got it all prepared for you. That's what you're forgetting. Kyle and I can't possibly live together at your house with you there.
I think I need you to explain this to me a little further. All this talk of me leaving my house and you two living there together? Are you saying that you and Kyle are living at my house together from now on? You aren't getting your own place?
Of course we're going to be living there together. Kyle is the oldest child and I'm his wife, so it's the natural course of action. The oldest sibling usually inherits the house, right? Isn't that how it always works?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that kind of thing with us. It's not the 1500s anymore, and our family really isn't old-fashioned. You guys can do whatever you want.
You don't have to be polite about it. It's set in stone. You know how these things are. We have a mutual understanding here. Kyle is the oldest in your family, so he's the one who will inherit the house. For instance, if your father were to fall ill, God forbid, the arrangements for the estate would already be in place. That's why Kyle and I need to stay at this house together.
I mean, I guess my dad could become sick at some point. But I don't see how that translates to some kind of mutual understanding between us about this. My parents don't like thinking that way anyway. They just want us to do what makes us happy and not think so far into the future about things. If anything, they probably wouldn't want you two living under the same roof as them and would prefer you live together somewhere else.
Maya, it doesn't matter how much you don't want to leave the house. Could you please not get in the way of our new life together? In fact, I think this could be a great opportunity for you to get out of the house and make something of yourself for once. Don't you agree?
Are you saying I don't get out enough?
No, you don't. You should know better at your age. But you're still single and living under your parents' roof. This might sound harsh, but frankly, you're a deadbeat shut-in who rarely steps outside. I know you must rely an awful lot on Kyle, but he's married now. I think you're well overdue to gain a little bit of independence.
Annie, you do realize I'm not a deadbeat or a shut-in, right? I've told you before that I work from home.
That excuse might work on your parents, but it sure won't work on me. I see right through you, so just give it up. Lazing around in bed and watching Netflix all day is not working.
What?
Maya, this is going to sound harsh, but somebody's got to say it. Just because your parents are very wealthy doesn't mean it's okay to leech off of them your entire life. Now that I'm part of your family, I won't tolerate you being jobless.
I do have a job. I work from home. That means I do work. At home.
I think you already knew this, but my mom raised me as a single mother. We weren't well off, and she had to work herself tirelessly in order to keep me clothed and fed. That's why I get really irritated when I talk to people like you, who were clearly spoiled as children.
Huh?
Our moving in together is for your sake too, you know. Do you understand? If so, then pack your bags and have your room cleared out for me. That's going to be our new home, and you will not be a part of it.
Excuse me, Maya. Are you there? How long do you plan on clinging to that house for? If Annie tells you to do something, then you'd better do it. You can't seriously be planning on just ignoring her forever, can you? Sorry, who is this? Let me guess, you're one of Annie's people. I'm her mother. Call me Kristen. It's a pleasure to talk to you again. We met at the rehearsal dinner. Oh, yes, I remember. It's been a while since we've spoken. Yes, it has. Now, tell me, what do you think you're doing staying in that house? If you keep behaving the way you are, Annie and Kaya will never get to live under the same roof. Great. This again? Annie's telling me she's going to move in so that you'll finally straighten out your act. But this is how you respond? Are you just going to take my daughter's kindness for granted? I'm sorry, Kristen, but you're putting me in kind of a tight position here. I asked my parents about the moving in business and they told me that there's no need for me to leave. And besides, they said that there's no need for the two of them to live in our house either. That being said, I don't see why this is still a point of contention. Besides, it's all a little archaic, don't you think? What part of this do you think is archaic? The part where Annie seems to think she and Kyle are just going to fully inherit the family home? I think it's a shame that young people these days have no respect for tradition anymore. Enough of your millennial complaining. You need to leave that house right now. You're going to let those two live together in your house whether you like it or not. But I already told you, my parents said it isn't necessary at all. Besides, I want to keep living here. I think I ought to have at least a little bit of a say in this. I can't just up and leave my own home just because Annie wants me to. Especially with no good reason. Oh, great. The jobless ingrate is putting her foot down. What a stubborn, spoiled woman you are. I can't believe your parents raised you to be this way. I'm sorry? I'll have you know, it's a problem for me too if you don't leave that house. This has been decided on ever since I learned my daughter was getting engaged to your brother. When she told me about it, I told her she would never come home to me again. How am I supposed to get my allowance from her if she isn't living with Kyle at his house like we agreed on? Sorry, what's this about an allowance? And what does that have to do with those two living at his house specifically? In order for me to allow Annie to move out and live with her new husband, we came to an agreement. Specifically, we agreed that she would wire me $2,000 a month. $2,000? On top of that, I'm also waiting for a check from her to come in the mail for me. All that's left is for her to put an address in and we'll be set. And yet, here we are. The last thing I need is a leech like you throwing a wrench in this plan. You do realize that this is completely crazy. I've never heard of anyone sending their parents money in exchange for being allowed to live outside of the house. What else am I supposed to do? She's my only child. My daughter. This is the best course of action for both of us. You see, I've been raising her all alone this whole time. It's been just the two of us for as long as I can remember. Once she leaves me, I'll be all alone for the rest of my life. I'm going to grow old all by myself without my darling child to help take care of me. The least she could do in exchange for letting her go off on her own is send me $2,000 a month so I can take care of myself. Hold on. I need to get this straight. So far, none of this is making sense to me. If you're so sad about being all on your own, couldn't you have worked something out with Kyle and Danny? Couldn't they just live with you instead of here? It seems to me like that would solve your problem entirely. There's no way the three of us would be able to live together in an apartment as tiny as this one. I wouldn't be able to stand it. And even if it weren't too small, Kyle moving in would simply be too much of a hassle for me. All I need is a few $1,000s and I'll be able to get on just fine. The arrangement works out perfectly if you ask me. I'm sure you love your daughter very much and are concerned for her well-being, but you sure are coming off as wanting her money more than anything else.
Oh, so now you're calling me a greedy old hag who wants to steal from her daughter?
Those are your words, not mine.
That sure is rich, coming from a spoiled brat child who contributes nothing to society.
Look, I don't know why you're so hung up on that idea, but I've told you guys multiple times that I have a job. I work from home. Haven't you heard of a computer before? And besides, I have more than enough money in savings.
Oh, I bet you've saved up so much money in your piggy bank by helping Mommy with her house chores. If that were me, every day would be like a vacation compared to the work I've had to do my whole life. People born into wealthy families really do start life on easy mode, as they say. Your frilly little lifestyle must be like something out of a fairy tale compared to what my family has gone through. Oh, how marvelous.
You won't believe me no matter how many times I tell you, huh?
Anyway, this is beside the point. I need you out of that house immediately. Do you hear me? I've replaced all of her old belongings with brand new ones so she can start off her married life fresh. And I need to get those to her. But more importantly, I'm waiting on that check.
Why would you go out and buy her new things? With what money? At this rate, you're going to end up blowing through that money Anne gives you.
But that's the entire point. Isn't it obvious? How could Annie possibly start her new life with old shabby things? She needs to start off with her best foot forward. I bought her brand new clothes, pajamas, and even makeup to replace her old ones. Not to mention socks, handbags, appliances, intimates. You get the picture. Now she'll be walking into your house wearing designer labels instead of those old thrifted rags. Not that you'd know what thrifted means in the first place.
You've got to be kidding me. You went out and bought all those things, and you did so with money that you don't have.
Now, I've got important business I need to be attending to. If I had the time to go over there and kick you out, I would. Understand? Pack your bags at once and get out of my daughter's new home.
This is a totally unrelated question, but how much money is that check you mentioned for?
About $50,000, give or take.
$50,000?
What? This money is important. I'll need it if I fall ill, won't I? You're just jealous that Annie doesn't need to worry about pleasing you anymore, aren't you? That job of hers is done, and she played her part beautifully. Her new job is to get the rest of your family to love her just as much as I do, and we will do anything it takes to make that happen.
How long is it going to take you to leave? Everything is ready on our end. Now we're just waiting for you. You're getting kicked to the curb, you useless bum. Remember?
Yeah, I know. I'll be out of your hair as soon as I can. I'm so sick of you guys anyway. I'll go, so just leave me alone.
You should have said that from the get-go. It would have saved us a lot of problems. You really went and dragged things out as long as possible to keep your brother's attention from me. His new wife. Well, so long, you little parasite.
Yep. See ya.
Good riddance. I hope reality hits you like a smack in the face. See how easy life is when you no longer have your parents' money to live off of. Spoiled do-nothings like you belong on this street with all the other jobless trash.
Guess I'll be off to my new condo now.
What?
I did tell you time after time that I'm not a bum, didn't I? I make over $100,000 a year, you know. I know you wish I'd live on the streets instead, but I'll be living on my own with my own money from now on.
Maya, you make that much money?
Sorry to have caused you so much trouble until now. I'd like to have all my things out by the end of the day, so I'll get back to packing now.
Hold on, Maya. Oh, wait just a second. You make over $100,000 a year and you didn't tell me? Where would a parasite shut-in like you possibly get that money? And enough to afford a condo, no less. Are you saying your parents went out of their way to buy you a condo with their money?
I don't know why you're so convinced that I leech off my parents. I'm renting this condo with my own hard-earned money, I'll have you know. I never got a cent from either of my parents for it. After all, I don't need their money. I make plenty of my own by working from home.
You do work at home?
Well, I don't do anything too fancy. I'm just a comic artist. Although I do have followers in the hundreds of thousands, so you could say I'm pretty popular. I also do illustrations for big names in the industry. Even you've probably heard of some of the things I've worked on.
You make $100K a year drawing at home? But I was totally convinced you haven't worked a day in your life.
I've told you 1,000,000 times already that I have a proper job, and you never listen to me. I tell you straight up that I'm a working member of society, and you just say, "Oh, you must be doing housework." I'm sick of it. All these conversations where nobody listens to me and things go nowhere.
This isn't my fault. It's your fault that your work is so confusing I couldn't understand it. We didn't know you could make money doing something like that.
Oh, really? Is that so?
Well, if you have so much money after all, then hurry up and move out. If you're so loaded after all, then why do you even care if you live at your own house or not?
I care because my brother's greedy wife is literally kicking me out. I can't just sit back and let her do that to me. It's not right.
But you are moving after all. It doesn't matter anymore. You already lost to us, and now you have to give up your precious home.
That is how it turned out in the end. I talked to my parents and they just said to let you guys move in if you're going to be so persistent. I can't just up and ignore what my parents say, so I'm moving out.
Ah, so that's what happened. Sounds like they're on my side now. Of course your parents would want the heir to their fortune to live as close to them as possible. It's no wonder they'd rather have us in their house instead of their daughter who shuts herself in for work every day.
They told me a few other things as well. They said they're going to put you in the barn if you're just going to force your way in. There's no bath or toilet there, but there's plenty of space for you guys. I don't see why you'd want to spend your new married life in a place like that, though.
Huh? They're not letting us live in the main house? We have to use the barn.
I spoke to your mom on the phone, too, and she had a lot of interesting things to say. She said she'd let you start living together under one condition. Apparently, she wants you to send her $2,000 a month. And assuming you don't have that much just sitting around, she wants it to come from Kyle or my parents. She says $2,000 is the bare minimum of what she needs, actually.
What?
Also, she replaced all of your old stuff with new versions. You've got brand new appliances, clothes, you name it. Of course, she needs you guys to help foot the cost. Apparently, she needs about $50K for all that.
You're joking. My mom told you everything?
Oh, yeah. She really didn't hold back. She told me I was getting in the way of her big plan and asked me to leave my house as soon as possible. Naturally, I told my parents every word of what she had to say. You know what they said? They said they're not going to stand by and be taken advantage of. Dad had a pretty scary look in his eyes when he said that, you know.
That doesn't sound good.
$2,000 a month is really nothing for them, you see. They'll be able to pay it quite easily. In fact, they say they'll gladly pay it, but under one condition. That condition is that you have to live in the shoddy, run-down barn. We obviously have a proper bathroom in the main house, but they don't seem keen on even letting you use it.
I can't believe this. How could they let the heir to their fortune live in a terrible place such as that?
You should be grateful they're letting you live on their property at all. I know taking the time to sit down and actually find a new place to live is tough. I just went through it too. But it's great that you get to live together happily ever after. Well, the living itself might not be happy, but love conquers all, right?
No!
You'll even get to treat your mom right with the $2,000 a month my parents are so graciously giving you. In exchange, you'll have to live in the shoddy little barn. I wonder how long you'll be able to bear it. Of course, if my parents are giving up their money to you, then you'll just have to deal with it. They're being so nice after all.
I can't deal with it. How could I possibly deal with it? There's no bathroom in there. I won't even be able to take a shower. And they won't even let us use the main house at all.
You'll be fine. There's a park that's just a 10-minute walk away. Well, it's more like 20 minutes. But if you run, I'm sure you can get there real fast. I wonder if you'll be able to hold it that long. Let's hope so.
It's more than 10 minutes away. There's no way I can make it in time.
As for the bath, you'd be hard-pressed to find one that isn't in someone's house, and our neighbors don't take kindly to strangers trying to use their facilities. Oh, there's actually a 24-hour gym nearby. You could shower there. You can get a little exercise in and shower once you're done. 2 birds with 1 stone, am I right?
You're telling me I'll have to live like this for the rest of my life? I can't do it. There's no way. The barn hasn't even been used for decades. Are you saying I'll have to live in that shabby old hut full of dust and asbestos for the rest of my life too?
And in case you were wondering, no, my parents will not be helping out. You might want to take a few days to really clean the place before you move in. Bring a mask, too.
No. I'm allergic to dust. I've always been horrible with dusty places. I can't even go under my own bed if I drop something. How am I supposed to clean a place that old and dusty all by myself?
So you agree that living with us is a stupid idea?
Wait, no, hold on.
Well, it's not my problem anymore anyway. Good luck living together. I hope it's just as magical as you dreamed it would be. No, hold on just a second, Maya. What is the meaning of this? You're making my daughter live in some dirty old shack on your property? How could you? This is all your fault. You caused this, didn't you? I bet it's because you want revenge for us trying to kick you out, isn't it? You've got my parents to blame for this one, actually. They're the ones that thought it was unnecessary in the first place, but you guys just wouldn't back down. They're just giving you guys what you wanted. Having Annie and Kyle sleep in the barn just works better for them. You can't always get what you want, right? But why are they making her live in that horrible barn? I don't understand. You say you're finally moving out. Then your room should be perfectly fine for Annie. I don't see why they won't let her sleep there when there's a whole room that they won't be using otherwise. I never said my room wasn't going to be used. It's true, I did move out so I could get away from Kyle and Danny. But my parents are actually going to let me use my old room as a workspace. They're letting you use it for what? Did Annie tell you about my job? Aside from the fact that I have a job in the first place, did she tell you what I do? I did hear that from her, yes. Who'd have thunk that someone like you, who barely goes outside, somehow manages to make a living for herself? Besides, you make an awful lot of money, don't you? I do. And I want to invest in my future and ensure that I continue to make a lot of money. For that purpose, I'm going to be using my old room for work. It'll be good for me to finally have my work and living spaces separate. I'll be able to stay organized and enjoy my time off more that way. That's why my condo will be for sleeping, eating, and having fun. Nothing else. Then I'll commute to my parents' house and work in my own exclusive space there. That is spoiled rich girl thinking. If you need a space for work and nothing else, then use the barn for goodness sake. I did think about it, but the barn doesn't have any electricity, so I wouldn't be able to use it. Most of my work gets done on my computer, after all. Are you kidding me?
There isn't even electricity in that building.
You should be grateful to your daughter. She's going to be living in a run-down barn using candles and lanterns like they did in the Victorian era. Thanks to her, she'll be able to send her $2,000 monthly allowance to you so you can buy frivolous things.
The $2,000 monthly allowance doesn't matter anymore. Annie said she couldn't stand living in that little barn and wants to come home already, you know.
Oh, so she already went home?
She took one look at that run-down little shed and bolted. I can't blame her. Now she's saying she doesn't even want to live with your brother at all.
So I guess we won't need to be sending you the $2,000 then. We'd only do that if she agreed to live here, after all. I wonder what's going to happen now that Annie can't pay you that $50,000 anymore.
That's a big problem for me, I'll have you know. I bought all of those things with my credit card, and I don't have the money to pay them back. I need to have it paid off by the end of the month, or I'm going to be in a whole world of trouble.
If it's looking that grim, then why not have Annie go through with the arrangement after all? Oh, please, Annie, just put up with all the dust and rot and stay in that shack for me. You'll do it for my sake, won't you? Mommy is in a lot of trouble otherwise. Maybe give that a shot?
Of course I can't say that to my own daughter.
Then you'll just have to find some way to get that money, won't you? Doesn't seem like you have any other choice. It's your turn to pitch in and help. Maybe try a lemonade stand? Maya, please. I need your help. Kyle said he wants to divorce me already. He's even given me papers and told me to sign them. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Boy, I am not surprised. You never even told him about this whole moving in fiasco in the first place. Of course he's upset with you. Poor guy had to hear it all from my parents instead of from you. He was messaging me about it all not too long ago. He said he had something really important he wanted to talk about, and it involved you. I went ahead and showed him all of our conversations so he could get a better idea of what's going on in your head. You did not. He saw you calling me a jobless bum and a parasite. He saw you trying to kick me out. Oh, he also saw how money-grabbing you and your mother are. He didn't know that about you. I'm surprised you kept it from him for so long. Of course he'd want to divorce you for all of that. He's got a great reason to. By the way, Kyle's the kind of guy who is very firm in what he wants. So you'd better just give up and sign those divorce papers. I don't know how I'm supposed to make a living for myself without him. My own mother told me once I married not to ever step foot in her house again. Remember? That's what she told you. And I know she's going to follow through with it. I guess she did say that, didn't she? My life is a total wreck right now. And it's all your fault. Kyle is dead set on divorcing me. Mom won't forgive me for the problems I've caused her. What am I supposed to do? Good question. I guess you could live on the streets for a while? It doesn't sound pleasant, but I'm sure you could make it if you tried hard enough. How could you say that? You are so mean. You're rolling in money, aren't you? You make 6 figures a year drawing your little pictures and goofing off at home or whatever. Money clearly isn't an issue for you like it is for me. So couldn't you let me work for you or something so I can at least feed myself? Why would I want to hire someone who calls me a worthless parasite? You should have thought about that if you wanted a job so badly. You never listened to me no matter how many times I told you I have a job. So why would I spend my money hiring someone who lacks basic comprehension skills when I could spend it building my business instead? No, please, I'm begging. Sorry, but I've got to cut you off there. I'm busy busting my butt trying to meet this deadline for work, so I don't have time to chat with the likes of you. A few days later, Kyle told me he somehow convinced Annie to sign the divorce papers, and their marriage is no more. Apparently, the two hadn't done a prenup, so the two spent a good amount of time fighting over who gets what. And Annie especially tried to wring some more money out of him. Once Kyle brought a lawyer into the mix, however, Annie got scared off and dropped her complaints entirely. She ended up going back home to her mother's apartment, but it didn't happen without a little bickering between the two first.
This is all your fault, Mom! I did everything you told me to, and now look where we are!
You stupid child! It was all up to you to execute the plan perfectly, and you went ahead and ruined it. Arguments like these continued for some time, and eventually they finally decided to cut ties with each other. In the end, Annie's mother was left with nothing but a pile of expensive kitchen appliances and a massive credit card debt to pay off. For reasons I still don't understand, Annie decided to work through her troubled feelings by stalking Kyle incessantly. Eventually, he filed a restraining order against her, which she failed to uphold, and is now spending time in jail for her actions. Thank you for watching to the end. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and tell us what you thought in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one.
Guess what? I found my prince! My true love! Now I know I'm destined to be a princess, and that you and I were never truly in love. I'll take the house and you can get out. I'm going to live there with my prince from now on.
What? What do you mean, Libby? I finished making our dinner, you know. Come home before it gets cold. This morning you said you wanted stout braised lamb shanks, remember?
Huh? Are you stupid? I'm saying I want you to divorce me. I found my prince. I don't need you anymore.
What happened? What are you talking about all of a sudden? What prince? I'm not talking to you over Messenger about this. Just come home and we'll discuss it properly.
No, I'm not living with you anymore. The prince will get jealous.
Prince? What do you mean by that? Have you been cheating on me?
Don't say cheating. What he and I share can't be labeled that easily. I wouldn't expect you to understand. This is not cheating. Got it? This is a chance given to me by God himself.
Cheating is cheating, Libby. The fact of the matter is, you are a married woman.
Let me explain. I was bound by fate to a prince in my previous life when I was part of the French aristocracy.
Huh? You haven't been going to see that psychic again, have you?
It doesn't matter. All you need to know is that I'm divorcing you. Get out of my castle.
The guilty party can't issue a divorce, you know.
Guilty party? What?
I guess you didn't do this kind of thing when you were part of the French aristocracy. Listen, divorce is not legally granted to the guilty person, i.e., the person who has been unfaithful.
So you're refusing to let me go, huh? Jealousy is an ugly thing.
It's not about jealousy. Libby, let's talk, and not over Messenger. Come home for a while and we can sort out what's going on.
No! I don't want to see your face anymore. I only want to remember my handsome prince.
Don't be so unreasonable. This is crazy.
You have no idea what you're talking about, damn it. This is fate. This is destiny.
Fate? That's what you said about me when we first met.
Hurry up and get out of my castle!
Are you crazy? You're the one cheating. Why do I have to be the one who leaves?
Because you had the house designed to my preferences. What's the point of having a castle if a princess doesn't live in it?
Well, I can't deny the place is very you since I let you handle all the designing and decorating. The whole place is covered in pink. But the loans still haven't been paid off, you know. I can't just give you the place.
What? You're not letting me have it? But why not? You always do whatever I ask, right? How is this any different?
Yeah, sure. I do all the cooking and cleaning since you don't want to. And I buy you whatever clothes or accessories you ask for. I've done everything I possibly could to make you happy. But this is not the same as all of that.
You are so easy to control, Jonas. Cooking for me every day after work. Cleaning up after me. I felt exhausted just looking at you running around, constantly at my beck and call. It was so pathetic.
I did all of that for you. To make you happy. But I had no idea you thought it was pathetic. Talk about disappointing.
Huh? What are you even saying? You only ever gave me $3,000 spending money per month at best. My prince will definitely be able to treat me properly and offer me a decent amount of spending money.
$3,000 of spending money is nothing to turn your nose up at, you know. That's more than some people's entire salary.
So what? I'm a princess. I deserve better than the average person. And speaking of, everything about my prince is better than you. He's rich and handsome and cool. Our house will become a love nest for me and him.
Don't say that. You're the one who's cheating.
You swore at our wedding that you would make me happy. But I've had nothing but misfortune since that day. And I'm taking the house as compensation.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. In the event of a divorce, I have the right to receive half of our assets. Right?
What? Who told you that? You're not entitled to alimony if you divorce someone because you're cheating on them.
It's only cheating once you've crossed the line, right? But in our case, this is pure love. It's platonic and wholesome.
Huh? You're asking for a divorce, aren't you? You want a divorce because you're in a relationship with this prince, right? That's cheating.
Do you have proof that I've ever done anything with him? I doubt it. You didn't even suspect a thing about cheating before today. You're too blind to notice anything. Now shut up and get out of my house, you idiot!
You sure have a nasty way of talking to a man you're married to. I've never even done anything to you. Is this why you haven't been home lately?
I'll be generous. You can at least take some living expenses with you. I may have your bank book and the credit card, but I left some cash for you at home. You can live on that for a while.
Where is it? I don't see it anywhere.
You have it, don't you? There's $100 in the fridge.
Are you serious? What do you want me to do with $100? How do you expect me to live on that?
As long as you don't splurge, you can live on that until your next paycheck.
You want me to leave my house, but you won't even give me the money for a hotel room. And how am I supposed to receive my salary if you have my bank book and credit card? Give those back.
Huh? Why should I?
What do you mean, why should you? Because it's my money. And I can't let you use my card just because your credit card is no longer valid.
Well, actually, I can't even use your stupid credit card anymore.
Seriously? Why not?
I have no idea. I was just told that the card can't be used anymore. It's maxed out or something.
It's what? Are you serious? It's illegal to use someone else's credit card without their permission, you know.
What do you mean? We're married, so what's yours is mine, right? I have the right to use your money however I want. I haven't done anything illegal.
The limit on that card should be $50,000. How much did you spend?
Love costs money, okay? I'm not like you. I'm a princess. Formerly French aristocracy. I'm entitled to better things than the average person. If my clothes, nails, and hair are not top-notch, they're not good enough.
That's just ridiculous. How are you even going to pay for all that stuff?
You should pay for it, obviously. As compensation for not being able to make me happy.
Listen, Libby, let's take a minute to cool our heads here. I'll go back to stay with my parents for now. But don't forget the house is still my home and I'm still paying it off. So please don't do anything crazy, okay?
You're leaving then? About time. I can finally go back to my castle without having to deal with you. Since you finally decided to cooperate, I'll be benevolent too. I'll pack some of your stuff up for you. I'll fill out and send the divorce papers to you at your parents' place. So send their address to me later.
Okay, sure. I really hope you change your mind about all this once you've calmed down.
That's impossible. Clearly, I'm out of your league.
My name is Jonas. I got married 3 years ago and I work for a foreign company based in the UK. My wife, Libby, does no housework and has never once cleaned up or prepared a meal. Despite that, I still continued to love her, and I took over all the housework in her place. As per Libby's request, I had the pink and sparkling mansion of her dreams built last summer. Then suddenly one day, while I was cooking her dinner as usual, I got a message from Libby telling me to leave the house because she wanted to get a divorce. I was in shock. However, since I had no evidence of her cheating, I decided to stay at my parents' house for a while.
I sent you the divorce papers. Did you turn them in yet? What is taking so long? I've been waiting for you to give me my share of your property. Hurry up!
I guess you haven't changed your mind then. You really want to go through with this?
What? You're still holding out hope that I'll stay with you? I already told you it's impossible.
I have some questions I want to ask you. Let's meet and talk it over.
When will the house be in my name?
You're really not listening to me, are you? I said I'm not going to give you the house, remember?
What are you talking about? You left! It's my house now.
I just left temporarily. I haven't surrendered the property to you or anything. It's not that simple, you know.
God, you're so annoying. Just give me the house and my share of the assets.
I don't think so, Libby.
Why don't you look in the mirror and think about my perspective? I can't put up with you anymore. Or your stupid face.
How can you be so cruel? I know things are falling apart right now, but we had some good times together, didn't we? Doesn't it mean anything to you?
I'm just telling the truth. What's your problem? The only good thing about you is your money. Obviously. But my prince has got you beat there, too. If you want to stand even a chance, you're going to have to start over from your previous life's previous life.
Living with him is like some kind of punishment from God, was it?
Huh? What did you say?
I should get paid just for having to look at his face every day.
Wait, where did you hear that? How?
I set up a camera before I left the house, you know.
A camera? Where?
3, actually. 1 in the bedroom, 1 in the living room, and the last one is in your room.
You're bluffing. You haven't even been home. When would you have had the time to set up cameras in the house?
I'm not bluffing. How do you think I know about the content of your conversations if I'm not telling the truth? I can check the camera footage on my phone, you know.
What? That's gotta be illegal or something. You're recording people without their permission.
Sorry to inform you, but there's nothing illegal about setting up a camera in your own house.
There must be. This is an invasion of privacy.
It's a secret recording. I can't explain it any better than that.
I'll call the cops on you, Jonas. If you don't want that, then turn over all your property and surrender the house to me right now.
Just try it. See what happens. But I think the number one thing that you need to worry about right now is the camera in the bedroom.
In the bedroom? You're joking, right? You're just trying to scare me.
Nope. I got it all on tape. It's crystal clear. The footage of you and my best friend. A married man.
I can't believe you would go this far to find out about us. You're unbelievable, Jonas.
You can imagine how surprised I was finding out that one of my coworkers, who I've always got along with at work, was having an affair with my wife. He married the boss's daughter 2 years ago, and they're expecting a child, you know. What were you guys thinking?
I don't care about any of that. I'll take the house anyway.
No, you won't, Libby. There will be no property division, and you're not getting the house. I will be demanding a lump sum of $10,000 in settlement and alimony. If you agree to those terms, I'll divorce you like you want.
But that's ridiculous! Who would agree to that? $10,000? For what? You're just getting back at me for cheating on you.
Those are my terms, and you have to return the money you blew with my credit card.
But how do you expect me to pay for all of this? It's clearly impossible.
I think the fee is less than the average going rate, actually. I'm being more than fair to you. Why don't you ask him to pay it? Your prince. He has the money, right?
I see. Yeah, I'll do that. The prince has money, unlike you, and that's all that matters. $10,000 is no problem. He loves me and he'd give you everything he has for my sake.
Good. Then put it in writing. I'll have my lawyer deliver the paperwork to you.
What? You even have a lawyer? Don't you think this is going overboard? Why are you such a creep?
Say what you want. I think I'm still doing better than you.
Fine, I'll get your paperwork ready for you. It's the biggest disgrace in my life that I was ever married to you, Jonas.
What do you know? This is the first time we've agreed on something. I'm going to call the lawyer tomorrow morning. I'll have him visit in the afternoon, and you can give him the bank book and the credit card.
By the way, don't say anything weird when you see my prince at work.
Like what?
I've learned how to cook and clean.
Huh? What are you going on about? You've never cooked or cleaned in your life.
Shut up! I'm divorcing you without splitting our assets. That's all you need to know.
Well, whatever. We're in different departments at work, and I don't see him that much.
Don't come crying to me when I'm living the high life with my prince. I'm done with you forever.
That's exactly how I feel.
Jonas, you were the one after all. All those difficulties we went through were just trials from God to test the strength of our relationship. Are you there? Jonas, I've always loved you. Don't give up on this relationship.
Who is this?
I'm your princess. I've come back to you after my trials.
I told you I don't want to hear from you ever again. Why are you messaging me now?
I can't believe I was deceived by that awful man. They can be so cruel.
What happened with your prince?
That swindler is just terrible. He deceived me. He wasn't even rich.
Yeah, I knew that. He's just a cheapskate whose wife is the boss's daughter. Well, that being said, he could do his job well, and I respected him. Once.
Why didn't you tell me? He said his wife found out he was cheating on her and got a lawyer to sue him every which way she can. So I have to return everything he bought me.
Yeah, I know.
But how? Why?
I'm the one who leaked the information to his wife. And that guy has always been a cheapskate. There was a time when he said he would do anything for me. Funny, isn't it?
How could you do something like that?
I showed her the audio of him happily saying, "My wife looks like Winnie the Pooh, and fat women aren't real women, are they?"
How could you do that? You're terrible.
I'm terrible. You guys were cracking up laughing, making fun of his pregnant wife's body. Which is worse?
She's totally crazy. She's suing me too, you know. I have to get a lawyer and go to court.
Of course she is.
I've been cheated. He said he had money, so I thought I could finally become the princess of my dreams.
I'm sorry to hear that. If you want your dreams to come true, you'd better grow up and make them come true yourself, Libby.
We can start over. Let's be happy together again.
You're not serious, are you? I will never, ever be happy with you again.
No matter what you say, I won't let you divorce me. You and I are meant to be. You can't just walk away because things got a bit rocky for a moment.
Huh? But we're not married anymore.
What do you mean?
Did you forget already, Libby? You already filed the divorce papers.
Oh my god, you're right! I totally forgot. But those papers don't count.
But you signed it in person and notarized it yourself. I got the divorce papers as soon as I could.
I don't believe it. This is awful.
How can you say we can start over after everything you've said to me?
I'm so sorry. It was just a spur of the moment. I didn't mean any of it.
I don't need you anymore. And I explained everything to your dad, by the way.
What? You told my father? Why?
Of course I told him. I'm his son-in-law. We're family.
But you know how scary my dad can be when he's angry. Why did you have to tell him about my cheating? He's going to kill me.
He was absolutely, totally livid, by the way. He said he'd disown you.
No, this can't be happening. Jonas, tell him it was just a misunderstanding.
No, I don't think I will, actually. By the way, I have a message for you from your dad.
Message? What message?
I'll pay your settlement to Jonas instead of your severance package. You'll have to take care of the rest on your own. Don't ever contact me again.
You're kidding. What am I going to do? And my lawyer says I might actually have to pay that woman some money. Like, a lot of money. I don't have any money, and I've never worked a day in my life.
You're really between a rock and a hard place, aren't you?
I'll do anything. I'm sorry. Please give me another chance.
No, I don't see that happening now or ever.
Wait, don't go yet. You can't abandon me now. Jonas, please.
Since then, Libby has been paying the alimony she owes my coworker's wife and the credit card she maxed out without my permission. I hear she's currently working 3 part-time jobs from morning till night. But with her immature personality, she will probably be fired soon. Speaking of being fired, my former friend who cheated on his wife, the president's daughter, with my wife, has been fired. I'll never have to see his face again. But one of my coworkers said he saw him wandering around in rags like a vagabond the other day. I think he got what he deserved, and that's karmic retribution. Since this whole incident went down, I became friends with the boss's daughter. Sometimes we go out for coffee to talk about everything that happened. She has some bitter feelings remaining, but she is looking forward to seeing her baby. As for me, I am finally able to work more efficiently because I don't have to cook and clean up after Libby anymore.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please consider liking the video and leaving a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you next time.